I'm not gonna lie to you, chat. I do have the holy sword, the Halloween sword in Hunty Zombies. Oh my goodness, I'm cooked. It is 4 a.m. Now, I'm having to redo this intro because I actually did change the weapon and I just didn't think it was good. But to be fair with you, after generally going back, rethinking everything, the weapon is actually pretty fairly balanced and it's actually worth going for actually. No, I just don't think it's entirely perfectly good for raid itself actually. But I do think raid, the newer raid boss, the Halloween raid boss is meant for groups, but not for players to try to solo in the end. But you can still solo it though. It just takes quite a bit longer. Well, unless you're doing the the baseball tech where you could just do 16k damage for absolute no reason with baseball. My fault. If that get nerfed, you could blame me if baseball get nerfed. So yeah, in this video, I will be basically going back and forth, giving my fair critique about what I feel about the Halloween sword. And I do think it's decent or perfectly balanced to say the least. And not all the swords or everything that come out in the game need to be broken or exactly mid or just absolute terrible. I just think it's perfectly balanced as is, which Spinal Blade could also be the same case. I know it sounds crazy, sound like I'm defending it, but I generally do feel that way. Anyways, if you guys haven't, be sure to like the video, like go 500, join the Discord if you haven't. We're close to 1,000 members and we're on the road to 11k, so be sure to subscribe to the channel if you're new. All right, I don't really have anything else to yap about. I know I'm always yapping, but hey, you guys love my yapping. Anyway, let's get in the video, man. All right, I'm gonna just only rock the sword for this game here, or for normal campaign here. I do got shoe on, but I'm just not gonna use it. So the M1 is actually really smooth when you do generally use it. It feels like really smooth compared to the other weapons, which that I could give credit for. I know my last fumble video, I guess I talked really just bad on a lot of things without the good, and I could genuinely promise you, there's a lot of good. Like the X move is pretty decent. Now I'm gonna talk a little bit more about the X move a little bit later, but let me show you something. The Z move starts about right here. So you might think that's long, but compared to Shoe, maybe even Scythe, it's actually a really short radius. Like that Z move is definitely not covering 2 rooms at best. This is like a 1 room at best if we were still able to attack through walls for like school, sewers, even carnival, right? If we was able to attack through walls without having to open up the door first to attack zombies, it is a pretty short distance. So look. So with Shoe, I could kind of like get towards the second area all the way over there. So I'm gonna shoot it. With Z for Halloween sword, it barely gets even across the map. It barely even gets across the map. So I wanted to show that right quick because I wanted to say that before anybody typed it out in the comments and tried to say that Z move is quite literally better than Shoe in terms of like the radius and whatever, right? It is not. And there's my proof right there, especially because I know some of you guys are gonna try to defend it when you don't even have it yet. There you go. All right, I need to get that out the way. So yes, it does like 243 damage for me. That's with some upgrades and plus Prodigy. I don't even have double damage activated, so you can imagine how much damage I could truly do. But the radius is really short, so you have to like somewhat use it up close. You can't use it free willy like this and think it's gonna go all the way back here if there was like some zombies back here. Luckily enough, the zombie that was coming over got pretty close, which is pretty good. But yeah, so you can't use a free willy. You gotta make sure like all the zombies are within perfect range. So something like this. And yeah, see, like it didn't even go through the door when they was coming through the door. So yeah, besides that, in terms of the X move, you could actually cancel animation and keep your pumpkins actually. Now I know a lot of you guys aren't gonna catch on with this at first. You're gonna use X and you're gonna instantly let it blow up, and that's fine. Actually, I believe that's more intentional, and I think this this cancel thing is more not intentional, like maybe a bug if possible, or something that they will eventually fix, because when I gave it a few tests, I don't think it was intentional. So you might be thinking, okay, so you could do that, you could infinitely summon more pumpkins, or burst pumpkin. As you see, I summoned more, it's not disappearing. So you might be thinking in your head, I could deal twice if not 10 times the damage, and X move is the best thing overall of, well, the Halloween sword. Hands over your shoulder, brother. Sorry to break your heart, but that is not the case. You cannot infinitely summon a bunch of pumpkins and think this weapon is top tier because you're thinking this X move is gonna allow you to deal like 16 times the damage. It is not. That is not the case. It's just not the case. Now you might be asking, how do I, okay, so like the zombies are near me, it's not exploding. Yes, so the only way this explode if you let the full animation animation of the weapon just play out. Just play out. I know somebody in my Discord asked how much damage it does. With double damage, it does like 600 to 700, almost 800 damage for me. If I had a full maxed out build, I'm pretty sure it could easily probably reach higher numbers, if not 1k maybe. Not too exactly sure. Which that's pretty good damage, not gonna lie. But without it, it's like 300 or something, which is whatever, right? My shoes kind of do more than that. But here, let me show you guys. Let me show you guys, right? So now we got like what, like 3 summons of pumpkins. I'm gonna use it. Wait, 300 damage, 300, almost 400 damage right there. Now listen. I'm not gonna gather up a bunch of group of zombies this time around. I'm just gonna get like near like at least 1 to 3, and I'm just gonna activate it again. And you're gonna see, no matter how many pumpkins you have, you're still gonna do the same amount of damage. And that is a missed opportunity in my head about how badly that they did not think this through. If we was gonna allow to, if they was okay, I actually, matter of fact, it's not a missed opportunity. I just don't believe it was actually intentional. Because if it was intentional, we would be able to do 20 times the damage. Look, just one zombie. Just, you know, how many zombies are in this area actually? Just one? Okay. Same damage. Same number of damage just for one zombie. And that's only one round of summon of pumpkins, bro. It does not matter how many you infinitely summon, you're still gonna do the same amount of damage. So that is like, I hate to say it, I don't think it's intentional, but if it was intentional, I will say this. It's a missed opportunity to allow the player to deal more damage. I think you guys should go back and buff it, especially since it's a divine weapon, if I remember correctly. Since it's a divine weapon, let us stack it up to 3 times and deal a good amount of damage just from the X move alone. It is a quote-unquote pumpkin burst, so in my eyes, I think it should do that burst of damage as it should, you know? So yeah, I mean, there you go. Last but not least, the C move, which is like a tornado. Yeah, it's not big. It's a pretty small tornado in a way. So like, and I believe the zombies, they have to be really inside of it for it to take place. I think I've seen the zombie kind of like be near it and they took no damage from it. I think they got to be inside of it for it to take place. So like, there's no like, the wind around it is gonna like deal damage. Like it's a strong wind, gust of wind or something. So if I do this, yeah, as you see, yeah, so like there's no like, it's not like a true AoE. It's just whatever's inside of it, it's gonna deal damage to. So they have to be inside of the radius, thus making C move not one of the best, but you know, if you get them all inside, it should do pretty good damage. But I'm gonna go on a limb and say you guys are gonna still hit your C move regardless, because you're playing like this for normal campaign, at least, or even endless, you know, trying to group up all the zombies together. And when all the zombies are grouped up, you use your C. So I'm gonna go on a limb and say you guys are playing like this. And yeah, and that's like 330 damage, which is pretty good. So yeah, there's that with C move. And last but not least, we have our ultimate, and I think I'll just skip to the part where I'm just talking about the ultimate, bro. Like, this ain't even a god video. I'm just really discussing about how much I just don't really like the weapon. Like, it's not top tier, but it's not bad at all. Like, it's not the most terrible weapon of the game. I think at best, I do believe it deserves to be mythic at least, or just maybe somewhat legendary. But I think it could slide enough to be a mythic weapon. I don't think it deserves to be something like a divine, when it's like, it just feels like it's not truly competing with shoes in a way, you know? I feel like at this point, we need weapons to compete with shoes, and that's what we could call that weapon truly divine. I don't know what they consider divine, but I think that needs to be clear on what they consider divine and what they consider mythic or whatever. With the Halloween sword, I just can't really consider it a divine weapon, because it's just not competing with, you know, shoes in a way. At best, if somehow Halloween, like the bow, was going to be considered exclusive, we could have considered that divine, because a lot of people still use it, and the bow is just really good overall, especially just in any build. It's just good, bro. And that's the thing I want to talk about. Halloween sword is just not better than shoes nor bow. At the end of the day, it's just not better. It's just not better. I'm sorry to break you guys' heart about it. It's just not better. It's just, I'm sorry. It might be like better than Spinal Blade if possible, I'm not too sure about that, but I just, in terms of like kit and overall, like just overall, right? Considering kit, damage, everything, I just don't think it's competing pretty well with shoes, possibly even bow, right? So, I mean, there's that. Like, hopefully, maybe one day somebody in the comments could prove me wrong, or like a video come out and I'm just proven wrong. But for now, this is my opinion, and yes, it could just change at any time. All right, last but not least, we're gonna use our ultimate here. I just wanted to save it for the clown. Yes, I can yes, the ultimate can one tap the clown, but it one taps everything. All right, so you see this radius? The ultimate, look, all right, here. The ultimate is huge. Watch. It covers a pretty good. Oh, I didn't even one shot. I'm like, oh my god, bro. Enter the safe area. But many times when I did this, it does kill the clown pretty fairly quickly. Anyway, but yeah. No, I need that. No, I didn't get the little candy thing. But anyway, it is pretty huge. It is pretty big. It could almost cover the entire map of Carnival in that little radius where the clown, spawns in at. And now you know the reason why I exactly said that, this weapon is perfectly good for endless, and hopefully that proves my point on why I don't really need to show you the gameplay for endless. Like, bro, the ultimate is pretty huge, and it just does fairly good in like just normal campaign overall against the normal zombies and such. So yes, long story short, if you ask the question, is it good for endless? At least it is actually generally pretty good for endless. And W SpongeBob shirt, I'm not gonna lie. Last but not least, I'm gonna be trying to solo raid with quote unquote the best build and raid kit build. And in the Discord, for like comment question or whatever, wherever they have it at in the channel, they say Halloween sword plus shoe is one of the best. Like, they have it as first, so they're considering this like the best kit overall right now. So we're gonna be using sword and shoe together. For pets, we're gonna be using bat and spooky cat, because I do have spooky cat. For passive, I'm not going to use APK and ATK this time. I'm just going to use HP, because I'm going to consistently get my HP back in a way with, the pets. And the pets is basically me using Spooky Cat and Bat. Yes, Spooky Cat can heal. And last but not least, we're just going to be using double damage. And double damage is just really good for more damage, obviously. And just only masking devil horns, which I do have. So I have all of this. I used it in the raid, and I have yet to even kill the boss. Alright, chat, here we go. Anyway, let me know what's your favorite anime, bro? What is the best anime you believe is out there that everybody should have already watched? Or you believe, like, you're surprised nobody know about, that you think that the anime should be fairly popular? Just let me know down below in the comments. But yeah, look at this, bro. Like, it do have a fairly, like, pretty longish startup time. Like, the Z move has a fairly longish startup time. It's not like quick. But yeah, I mean, you can say the same with like shoes here for X move, but with Z move it's like really quick. Even C move is like really quick. V move is like fairly quick. Unfortunately, I don't have V move for like Halloween sword. I will try to eventually get up there. Fortunately, I won't be able to show you guys for this video here. I don't know if I'll make a standalone video or not. If I don't, if I ever do get it, maybe you guys will see on stream one day with what the V move do, especially if I get it early before like, the next stream or whatever. If not, that's okay, right? That's fine. Like, you guys could just like genuinely let me know in the comments what it do, or like let others know what it do as well. But anyway, there's that, right? So we got the boss down to 96 HP already, 23 minutes left. And this is how I basically started out, right? My old previous build took 13 to 16 minutes to like just solo it, but the solo best build took me the entire raid process to actually even just kill the boss alone, which was just terrible. Without double damage, as you can see, it does 400 damage. I told you guys earlier. Well, right now, considering the fact that I'm using AP HP, I do 1.15 times the damage, so I am slightly doing way more damage than usual compared to what I was like showing you guys in normal campaign. So there's that. Take that how you will. That AP, like, I'm getting more damage as long as I'm above 80% HP. So the damage will be different. As you can see, only barely did any damage, right? Like only like 1 or 2 pumpkin hit the Halloween boss, which you're probably not going to consistently get that much great value damage trying to use ultimate against this boss. So I probably wouldn't recommend it if you're still going to use it for raid. I mean, you can still use it, but like it's a rare chance where all the pumpkins will possibly try to hit all together, against the raid boss. Whereas if you could just use ultimate with any other weapon, I mean, like, you probably more than likely will get your full damage out of it as you should. So yeah, I mean, there's that. Think about how, you know, take it how you like, you know. But yeah, you know, bro, like, I don't hate the weapon. Like, it's definitely better than Priest, obviously. It's just, I just find myself in a position where I'm kind of confused on why they're trying to say this is better than Shu and Bow, Shu and Ghost or whatever, right? You know, and like this is a divine, by the way, like a divine weapon where I think or consider, where I consider the fact that this should just be a mythic at the end of the day. That's just me. All right, we're gonna activate our skills here. Let's see. Yes, we're gonna be using both our like builds here. We lost 2 minutes. 2 minutes, by the way. And we finally got him down to 89 HP, like in the 80 category, bro. Which is just not looking too good. It's kind of like a more slower solo process here. Which is just not really good, in my honest opinion. Maybe if I had V for Halloween Sword, it might be faster, but I'm not too sure about that, unfortunately, since I don't have V move. Which, maybe that's will explain the reason why I'm missing out on a lot of damage value here. I just can't solo it faster, bro. But still, like, even without it, I feel like I should at least be able to deal, like, decent amount of damage. Just like this weapon is halfway, you know, still maxed out to halfway, right? Prodigy, halfway upgrades and such. Like, I'm running everything. Like, it's a half built build. It's like 80% done, right? So I should still be able to technically still be able to kill solo the boss with no issue. Even if it's going to take me like 23 minutes, it's still enough to like still solo the boss where I could get some loot. But by the way, apparently you get no loot if you don't solo the boss in time, which just I absolutely hate, right? Also, I do got a bad habit. I need to make sure to use my double damage. Right, I can use double damage now since I got V move. There we go. Also, you want to know what's worse, bro? Since considering the fact that the raid boss have knockback, that it is also really easy to miss your hits. The boss consistently move around, teleport around, and he has knockback. It is really easy. You have a 50 to 80% chance of your attacks just missing. Holy shit. Bro, his stomp move, apparently I found out his stomp move is the hardest to move at this point, bro. Like, it just does so much damage. Makes no sense. Alright, let's do that. And let's do that. And V. So there we go. Also, you know, making this video long, I don't have anything else to really yap about. Plus, I'm in call with Clover and, you know, Headshot with the homies. So, like, I'm gonna have to cut this part out where I'm just probably yapping to them about some stuff anyway. So, I'll see you guys if I'm, like, actually generally just close to soloing the raid boss, or I'm just close to the point where the timer is just finna run out, so. Killing it, please. I'm actually I'm like right there. There we go. 55 seconds. Oh my goodness, I told you guys it was taking a hold. Last time I was using ATK and AP. Apparent ATK, yeah, ATK and AP. 45 candies, bro. I'm like, at least I got a lot of candies out of it, bro. I kid you not, last time I tried this, I used ATK AP. Took me in the entire raid process and I just did not beat it. And now I'm pretty sure it's because thankfully AP and ATK, not AP and HP is just more consistent, that I could just consistently get more damage back from 1.15 times the damage, besides having to rely on every 5th hit, every 6th hit, just to like deal out that much damage. Yeah, that just took the entire raid process. I'm literally tired, bro. Alright, hope you guys, I'm not gonna lie to you, hopefully you guys just enjoy the video. Hey, prove me wrong that Halloween Sword isn't that bad in raid, let me know. Other than that, it is good for other game modes such as, well, endless and normal campaign. I do believe there's a good chance that it could actually manage in just normal raid against the Shin Samurai boss, because the Samurai boss doesn't have a ton of HP for no reason, like HP infiltration or whatever. I just think this boss is just hard because of the HP. I feel like if the HP wasn't an issue, that this sword wouldn't exactly have that issue of soloing. But other than that, I do believe the new boss just... I will say this. I do think they wanted everybody to just jump in raids together and help each other out, just so everybody can have a chance like generally getting items all together. If that's the case, then it is what it is. But same time, I would love to be able to just test my strength, test my skill, and just solo raid bosses, you know. And I feel like there should be a fair audience for that want to generally do it. And I do believe you can generally do it. Like my old build, when I made a video on it, still actually do work. It took me 13 to 16 minutes to actually just solo the boss with that said build. Other than that, bro, I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. That's the video. What do I think of Holy Sword? It's good in certain game modes. For just the new boss, it's just not that really good. I'm gonna be honest with you. So overall, it's like a mixed feeling. The weapon is good in its own way at what it do, and you can still actually generally use it at the end of the day. So if you still want to use the weapon, you still can. Just for raid boss itself, for the new raid but Halloween boss, is just really not that good. All right, that's it, chat. If you guys enjoyed the video, join the Discord, subscribe to the channel if you know what 11K. I like the video. See you in a new video soon.